Hey everybody, it's your girl Shaniqua, the Master Brand Story Coach, and I'm here to talk to you about acceptance. Accept yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you why I know that's true. Because over the past year, I have come to understand that my major problem in this entrepreneurial space, my major problem with pitching myself for stages or for writing the book that I want to write, is that I was worried about being accepted. Yeah, y'all, I didn't even realize that was my biggest problem, but it was. And where does those kind of problems stem from? As always, childhood, all right? And yes, it was mommy issues. See, I didn't grow up thinking that my mother accepted me. Um, I was too quirky. I was too intelligent. I was too creative. I was too spontaneous. I was definitely too messy for my mom. This was a rigid woman who had some military background, but who also grew up in a rigid household as well. And so I did not fit in. I was not feeling like I was accepted. Like I felt like I was too much or even not enough for my mom. And that manifested itself on the playground. In elementary school, I wanted to be like this girl, Yolanda. She was this popular girl, beautiful brown skin. She knew how to plait hair, so I learned how to plait hair. She had a gap, so I stuck a toothpick between my perfect teeth to try to get a gap. She was wearing braces, so I would take gum wrappers and try to create braces. And when none of that worked, I would be on the playground and just cry, trying to get attention away from her and over to me. And when that didn't work, I would swipe my mom's bras, stuff them full of socks, and strut around school as if I was the shit. Really. And my teachers never said anything. They should have. But um, what I didn't realize was that I brought this need of acceptance all the way to the age of 36 when I entered the entrepreneurial space. I was still trying to be with those Yolandas, the loud people who had the most engagement, who built their tribes, all those people. And so I threw my money at them as I tried to emulate them. And instead, what I found was that I put myself into poverty and paralysis. What broke that? Being in the back of an ambulance on the way to the hospital because I almost died. I had blood clots from being stagnant after a surgery, but also I want to say being stagnant mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because I had not yet dealt with my trouble of wanting to be accepted. So what fixed that? I mean, if death doesn't tell you, hey, you don't have time, I don't know what else does. And so I was no longer looking for acceptance from anybody. I saw that my legacy that I was leaving my kids was one of struggle and of overwork. And I did not want that. I did not want that at all. And so for the last year, I've been out there living my life, finding my voice, and experimenting, getting my creative back on. And I've been doing the things that I want to do and that I feel called to do. I'm no longer chasing Yolandas, but looking in the mirror and loving Shaniqua. I've accepted me. And I think it's time that if you find yourself struggling with these things, that you accept yourself. Because the only thing that we can do is to accept and love ourselves. And this isn't some woo-woo, feel-good stuff. This is legit the answer. You can chase the money. You can chase the cars. You can chase the house. You can chase the vacations. But at the end of the day, if you don't love yourself, if you don't find yourself, none of that stuff matters. And when you start accepting who you are, you'll write the story that you feel called to write. You'll step on stage and you'll speak the truth that you feel called to speak. You will encourage people to live their lives out loud and in full, like you can step into and finally do for yourself. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I want you guys to do. And so if you're ready to to find your real stories and to tell them and share them in such a way that you make impact. Don't worry about income, because when you're walking in your purpose, that will follow. There is no purpose and poor. That doesn't work. That never actually ever worked, because you have to represent what this prosperity looks like. You have to be that person who has wealth in your life, not only financially, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Accepting yourself means looking at who you are right now, putting your arms around yourself and saying, I love you, and meaning it. And say, I'm going to take care of you, and mean it. If that, eat right, get more physical, work on that book, and work on that speech, apply for the stage, or take that vacation, whatever that looks like, do it. Accept yourself. It's the key to everything. And I'm not even lying. So let's go unlock your potential and turn it into something kinetic. Let's live a life of purpose, prosperity, passion, and permission. It's granted. Now go accept yourself. Be dope, always.